Well, welcome to the podcast. Jokes aren't funny today.
La, 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 la.
That'll make sense soon.
It sure will. Brownie takes us through a fantastic communication technique. Tim Minchin's on the show. Your mate, Sammy, Kitty Flanagan, the great Kitty Flanagan, to talk all things
apparently.
I thought you
Fisk.
were going to say James Corden, Sam's mate. They go well together, I think.
James
Very similar
Corden.
personalities.
You two and him, peas in a pod, you two.
Wouldn't have thought so, Sam.
Both tools. And then Kitty Flanagan's show Fisk starts tonight, season 2.
Yeah.
Swanee, you made a good point. If you haven't seen season 1, it's all there.
How
on Ivan.
jealous
can
are
knock
you?
it up.
How jealous? Imagine having all of that divine, funny, brilliant series waiting for you. What a great
Full
feeling.
disclosure, I probably should have watched. I didn't watch it all
Probably
yet in
should've.
season 1. You know
What?
that? I didn't see it all.
Get to it.
You're a dog and a bad friend.
Enjoy the podcast.
Chrissy, Sam, and Brownie.
The podcast.
Good morning, Melbourne. How do you do? What a rainy old day yesterday.
Why don't you? Plenty of rain around still, Swanee.
But also
You're not-
super hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it wasn't
weird.
it humid? I was
Yeah.
out in the garden a little bit yesterday, Christine.
Good on you,
your
mate.
Your boy pumping weight.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Got a
good.
little video that I sent to Dino of Leo deadlifting. Deadlift, that's when you just pull
From the ground.
from the ground.
I love it, Swanee. I love the deadlift. Key to strength. A
Is
real
it?
base. A real base of strength.
That's what he
Swanee.
says.
A go-to
13
exercise.
years old,
Yeah.
Yeah.
120 kilos.
John, that's big.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I did the height of my career, Swanee, or my height of my athletic career.
Yeah.
240 kilos. So 120, Swanee. He's already halfway there. How old's this kid?
13.
They drug test him.
Yeah.
Ha!
We got to get him in for how much do you bench?
Yeah.
I'll
well,
be
I
getting
think
into
we'll do.
piss in a jar, I think. To test this kid. He's a strong boy. 120 kilos.
Yeah. And he's only like, what, 5'8", I guess?
Do you mind if we ask your son to urinate in a jar, Sonny?
I wouldn't mind that at all.
That's nice.
I'd like to see the
Light up like
outcome, frankly.
Yeah, it'll light up like your Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, what are you feeding that kid?
Chrissy, Sam, and Brownie.
Ready to put your pool floaties to work?
Start planning the ultimate summer getaway with whatif.com. Find hotels and holiday rentals plus family-friendly resorts.
Just jump on the What If app. What if it's Aussie for travel?
The following program is classified M. It contains adult themes.
Oh.
Chrissy, Sam, and Brownie. Uncut.
This is Uncut. Play along at home. Yeah, unbelievable. I'm going to take you over to the UK. I'm not making this up. Channel 4, one of their stations, a bit like probably Channel 7, Channel 9 or 10.
Free-to-air.
Free-to-air. They've got a show called My Massive Cock.
What?
That's what the show's called. I'm only reading what's in front of me, Swanee.
Is it about a
Now back me up.
rooster?
I'm not making it up.
Is it about a chicken?
No, it's when people have medical issues.
Swan, can you confirm and back it up with the
Back it up.
document
I'm
he's
not
showing
making
you?
it up.
It says that.
Yeah, it says that.
How do they? Is that C word different over there? That's a very rude word here.
Yeah, it's a rude word. That's
is.
why we've had to
Yeah.
put it in the 6 o'clock hour, Swanee, away from prying eyes of school children who are just learning the ways of the world. So the issue this week, this week's episode was
On
about
MMC.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I gently request that we don't have that word again in the break?
Well, no, unless Joe speaks about it. So I'm not going to use the word.
Oh, good.
And we'll just call the show MMC.
Or my massive kick,
Yeah.
MMC, I
my
like it.
massive bock.
Let's just go with Joe. Let's just have a listen to Joe, okay? Now, Joe tells us what his problem is. Now,
It's about 9.5 now, and I'm 5'6", that's 66 inches. So it's like nearly 1/12 of my height. It's thicker than my forearm. It's about 7 around. I can get my hand around my wrist quite easily, but I can't get my hand around my own dick.
Okay, is this a humble brag? I don't have a penis, but isn't the whole thing the bigger the better?
Well, not in this case, Swanee. It's unusually uncomfortable to look at, and obviously for Joe to carry around. 'Cause as Joe just told us, Joe's not a big man. Okay, he could probably be riding on Saturday at Flemington, Swanee, because he is light enough as well. So it is unusually out of proportion.
Yeah, if it's comically big, Swan, it's just a burden.
That's right. It's like a cartoon, honestly. Now, Joe.
I can't think of a single. I mean, frankly, I can't think of a single woman I know that would find that a problem.
It'd be scary.
That one, his metrics, that's big.
Swanee, if Joe walked into my bedroom, I'd shit myself. Worry about that. Yes. Now, Dino.
Horses for courses, as
Well,
they say.
talking about horses, now, Joe, what are some of the challenges around being hung like a donkey?
Joe needs to buy special underwear, costing him over £200 per year.
These are the ones where if I take more than 10 steps, boom, it's fallen out the end. I have to think of my thigh to cock ratio.
Oh, he's TTCR.
He's a big measurements man. And that's what I've noticed about Joe. He gave us his height.
Yeah.
He gave us his height to dick ratio. He gave us his measurement around.
Yes.
Swanee, which is unbelievable. It's 7 inches around.
There's definitely been a pen and paper and a tape measure at home.
Oh, yeah. He's big into his measurements.
Stats. He's a stats man.
He's
a statistician.
He's a bit like the David King of this world.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, is Joe a show-off? Because Joe would get accused of being a show-off, Swanee.
Yes.
The issue is because I'm quite a shower, people just automatically presume that I've got a boner because, like, I can't tuck it round the side.
Despite Joe's special pants, he still can't hide his bulge.
Despite Joe's special pants.
Like the
His bulge.
special pants on.
It's a burden, Swanee. This is a...
So, Swanee,
This poor
let's
man.
paint the picture. He's walking down the street. It's very challenging for Joe.
Yeah.
It's really noticeable. It is really noticeable, Swanee.
What if he walks past a bus stop? Everyone will just think he's got a horn on. He's just trying to live his life.
Well, he's trying to live his life, and that includes going for job interviews. So Joe recently went for a job interview. It wasn't that exciting a job, just a job in IT. Yeah. So he went for the job and thought it went well during the interview, and after the interview walked away and going, I've done a pretty good job. Read some of the feedback.
I went for this interview and I thought the interview went really well, but suit trousers are well fitting, very tight. The response I got was, you're not going to get the job. We thought you were a good candidate, but we thought there was inappropriate behaviour happening. They thought I had an erection throughout this whole interview, and they were very much like, your attire wasn't right. They clearly meant, we could see your dick.
Maybe he should wear a skirt.
Oh, yeah.
That would hide everything.
A sarong?
That's why I wear skirts, just to hide my giant dick.
I love the sad music under that. Under that last one.
Yeah.
Sadly, you didn't get the job.
It's a sad story. I know we laugh about it, Swanee, but it is unusually out of proportion, as Joe has told us.
So what is the solution? Do they
Well,
hack it off?
he may have to have reduction surgery. So
That sounds iffy because nothing works the same when you tinker with it surgically.
Well, especially something like that. So a lot of men's dreams, Swanee. It's actually a nightmare for Joe. But I'm reliably informed this may be coming to our shores. Next year,
Really?
this new show.
Joe's-
the show. My massive cock.
Yeah.
Not Joe's-
Don't say that word.
Sorry, it's the last time I'll say it. And reliably informed.
Yes.
It'll be hosted by
Yes.
Matt Shervington.
This is the Chrissy, Sam and Brownie podcast.
I found this little snippet of a woman who's living in a haunted house. Okay. This is the kind of dirty bits and bobs these ghosts are saying to her.
Audio recordings have caught the ghosts talking dirty.
Oh, baby, yeah. Yeah, I like it like that.
Yeah. That's what.
Is that Barbara Walters?
That's what it is not.
Oh, baby, yeah. Yeah, I like it like that.
I like it like that.
That's the most lackluster sexy talk I've ever heard.
Oh, baby, yeah. Yeah, I like it like that.
I
I'm going
agree.
to clarify, that's not the ghost, but that's the lady recreating what the ghost is saying to her.
Yes, and the reason the ghost is that, I want to say horny, is that a bad word? Anyway, is so sexually charged is because she found out her house used to be a brothel.
Brothel, really?
Yes.
Now that's fascinating.
So there's
Would have an
obviously
upstairs for sure.
Yes, and there's one guy that keeps on coming back because he thinks he's going to get lucky, and he says things
Oh,
like,
baby, yeah. Yeah, I like it like that.
So 13, 24, 10, did your house used to be something else?
Oh, yeah, this is cool.
I've got the best story, and I'm not going to say it now because I feel like people are going to hear it and go, oh, why would I call Chrissy's house used to be the best thing? So I can't compete. So I will save my story, but I do have another one. The house I grew up in East Hawthorne was owned by the Cottognotto family. Now, they were the part of the spaghetti mafia, which brought Italian food to Melbourne.
Right.
So you know that fancy restaurant society, the Codognotos started the original society at 23 Burke Street and brought Italian food to us
beautiful.
stupid Australians.
Thank you, Coke. What are their names?
Codognotos.
Thank you.
It used to be called the Italian Society, and then they changed the name to just Society. During World War II, because there was some, European bits and bobs going on. And a lot of Australians tasted their first bowl of spaghetti thanks to the people who owned the house that I grew up in. And I think that is very suitable. Don't you?
I think it's fantastic, Swanee.
So 13, also before Mum renovated that house, the carpet was like red and flourishy. It was unusual.
Right.
And it was offcuts from the big restaurant in the city. It was the same carpet. 13, 24, 10. Was your house something else? A brothel, a doctor's surgery, a dental surgery. There's a fantastic old dental surgery that's now a residence. Was it an old milk bar? What sort of history does your house have? Megan from Heidelberg, what did your house used to be?
It's the house my dad lived in. It was the very first school in the Gambie, and it was built in the 1880s, I think.
Oh, God, I love it. Does it still have that school vibe, like the worn-out floors and the high ceilings, maybe a fan?
Not a fan, but certainly the high ceilings. And it's quite pokey now because they've put walls up to create the residence, I guess.
Wow. Is there a staff room?
Yeah, there is a small staff room which my grandmother used to sleep in. It was the smallest room in the house.
Oh, my God, really? I would love this, Megan. I love this.
Megan, any other tells that it used to be a school? Any other, like, urinals? Urinals?
Or like a blackboard. What are the toilets like?
No, well, the kitchen and the bathroom put on as extensions. So I don't think must have been outdoor toilets that have since been demolished, I'd say.
Oh, we had an old house in Winnable had a urinal.
Really?
I don't know whether it was an old school or something. It's like an outhouse. Yeah, one of the early urinals.
More houses, more homes should have urinals.
I agree. Yes. I don't know why they don't.
Those yellow sort of urinal lollies.
The cakes.
Yes, the cakes. The cakes.
Megan, a $250 what if voucher. Thanks for calling.
Sharon from Brighton, what did your Hyatt rental used to be?
Good morning, guys. So my friend and I moved into Hyatt to this little house. Won't mention the street. Anyway, so the manhole was open when we moved into the laundry. And I wonder what's up there. So I got on the ladder, went upstairs, and in the corner was a big Bob Marley picture of him smoking some hash. There was a bit like a drug lab, really. They had a weighing machine. They had little white sort of pills. Then they had the bags. Anyway, I went, oh, my God, I'll just leave it as is. And, close the manhole up. A couple of months later, we had the landlord knocking on our door going, have you found anything in the roof? No, I haven't been up in the roof. Anyway, I just left it at that, and then a year later we moved out. So I always wondered what happened to that little drug lab.
Why was the real estate agent asking if you'd found anything? Yeah. I think we might have found our kingpin here.
Oh, I don't know what was going on there, but I see no evil, I hear no evil, and I speak no evil.
Amazing. I didn't realise you used to live in Brighton, Dana.
What are you, Sharon? You've got a double pass the Hoyts plus a custom Ben & Jerry's cake. Order your custom Ben & Jerry's cake at select Hoyts location. Just back to the urinals. We just got a text message from Dr. Cass.
Yes.
Pang's personal physician.
Yes.
He grew up in a house of 4 boys.
Lots of boys.
So the mum geniusly installed a urinal.
Smart, isn't it? Smart.
Come on.
I might do that. Like, I'm not ruling it out.
A lot easier to clean a urinal than around the toilet. 4 boys growing up.
Yes. Oh, God, it's disgusting.
Swanee, what do you got?
First of all, I just want to mention that I love that Bob Marley is overseeing this whole thing as the patron saint of illicit drugs.
I love that.
Okay, here's mine. The house that I currently live in, I'm just going to cut to the chase, was the set for the halfway house, the Sally Lee halfway house on the original series of Prisoner.
He used to give me roses.
And you know what? I didn't know it when I bought it. That's one of my favourite series of all time.
It's hard to top that.
Turns out that one of the owners in the 70s was dating one of the directors from Prisoner. And when the storyline of Doreen, the great Colette Mann, being released from Wentworth, being released from prison. They have to go to the Sally Lee halfway house. And they're like, where are we going to shoot this? And he said, I reckon my girlfriend's house is spot on.
That's wild.
And that is my house.
Was there any tells?
A piece of Australian TV history.
Was there any tells on the house that were left? Like, was Sally Lee on the door or...?
Sadly, no. But I did find Doreen's teddy bear under the house.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
The podcast.
Morning, Melbourne. Welcome to your Wednesday bump day.
Yep.
Jonathan, I know that you're absolutely devouring with your eyes this amazing new recipe book. It's by Nagi, who runs Recipe Tin Eats. And I know
engrossed, Swanee.
A lot of you will be listening to this going, oh, my God, I love her. I love that website. Yes. Please spare a moment, a thought for Brownie, who's never heard of it. So he
never heard. A lot of people listening might be waiting for me to be introduced to, by the way.
His culinary introduction to Recipe Tin Eats.
I've got one for you, Sam.
Wouldn't even...
Currently open on the Xiaomin page.
And
it looks
oh, my God.
Not how you pronounce it.
And, of course, the great Sam Pang
You're right to
joins us.
You're right to take your time with the intro because I couldn't get his attention anyway. Your eyes are glued to this book.
He's a Renaissance man. If he's not in the garden, he's in the kitchen, Sam.
There you go. Well, using some of my produce from the garden.
Nerd alert.
Exactly. Good on you.
So come around one night. Cook us up Xiaomin.
In your kitchen, do you make biscuits, and like nerd biscuits?
Got him! Got him early.
What's this new book?
You got to accept you got done then.
What's the new book? What are you doing? Like, did Chrissy give
Recipe
you this?
Tin Eats.
Chrissy just introduced it.
Recipe Tin Eats.
Your ears painted
I've never heard of it.
Have you never heard of the website? It started as a blog with two people.
That's not a website, Swanee. It's a book.
Yes, I know. Her and her mum were the only two followers. Now 335 million hits in a year.
It's a lot of
it is a great website, and it's now a book. I know that there's going to be thousands of women listening going, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right.
All right.
Chump.
Well, what are you doing tonight? Brownie will be
classic.
Brownie will be harvesting some ingredients, no doubt, and cooking something. Samuel, what are you up to?
Yeah,
I'm off to the. Oh no, I'm a bit embarrassed now. I'm off to the Channel 7 upfronts tonight.
Oh, that's right. You're an upfront tar.
There was one in Sydney yesterday.
I was going to say, I think you've missed it.
Well, it wouldn't have been the worst thing, but and now there's one in Melbourne as well. So I'm just going to see if Front Bar's coming back.
Oh,
yeah, I think it is.
That's what you find out.
Media wall.
What?
Media wall.
Yeah, I'll get there early. Obviously.
Are you going to be...
Every show, I'll just make sure I'm in a photo with them. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Are you going to be lowered from the ceiling like I was with Koshi, though?
Well, I'm hoping Koshi will be there, by the way, and I hope that, there's Channel 7. It's a showcase of the great shows that are returning and the great shows coming back. Or, sorry, new ones. But if Koshi's there as a network star, I do hope they play this at for all the people in attendance.
How would you like to go cruising?
That would be fantastic.
Go to your front door, Christine.
Tell us who you're going to take.
I'm going to take my husband.
Oh, why?
He's got terminal cancer.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That's why he's a master. That's why they've re-signed him again for another couple of years.
Hey, one big question.
What?
It's on everyone's lips. Well, mate's on a mission, be back.
Whoa!
I'll tell you, I'll ring you tonight.
Text us when you find out.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissy, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie on Nova 100.
I want some tropical stuff.
Would you like a sense of the day? Because if we leave it up to Brownie, he'll just be going through that book, every recipe by recipe. The last thing I heard before we went back on air is, gee, she loves her garlic.
Yeah.
She does.
Good on
She
you,
does.
mate.
And so do I. That's why we're compatible cooks.
So do I.
Wednesday,
Sense of the day.
Wednesday, October the 26th. When's your birthday?
3 days away.
Yes.
Whoa, not long to go.
Jonathan Brown.
There was a budget last night. After 10 years out of government, Labor delivered a budget. Winners and losers? Winners, parents. I don't think so. No matter what they get. Not going through
what they
details.
hand in.
What a ridiculous thing to... Patience, apparently. That's good.
Beautiful. Let's go and be a patient.
Yeah, TAFE's got some money. Aged care, that's good. A lot of money there to deliver better aged care. And home buyers, apparently 1 million new, well-located homes over the next 5 years. So they're the winners. Losers.
Who are the losers?
Taxpayers. No tax cuts for the average worker.
So the losers are literally everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, that's good.
Corrupt pollies. Oh, you got to feel for them.
Boy.
$263 million spent on tackling government corruption. And this one here, losers, tax dodgers. Spare us thought for all the tax dodgers out there. There's a crackdown on cash in hand jobs.
Oh no,
Jonathan, are you okay?
Cash.
Oh God, he's got his giant hand out.
You all right, mate?
That's all right.
He's rubbing
They're
his
cracking
face.
down on you. They're coming for you. This will be like
I'll have to move the excavator out of the backyard.
Correct.
Mate, you'll be a fugitive, by the way. You'll be on the run.
Yeah.
Trying to hide your
You're Richard
cashies.
Kimball about me.
Yeah.
You'll be
Every
running.
hen house, outhouse.
Richard Kimball from Kindergarten Cop?
No, from
Okay.
Fugitive.
My bad.
Come on, mate. Harrison Ford.
You got to watch. Have you watched that recently? It is good.
One of the greats.
Australia won a T20 World Cup game yesterday, so that's cool.
Oh, yeah, they played Sri Lanka.
In Perth. I only
was
said
on so late.
Serena Williams says her chances of a return to the court are very high a month after a US Open farewell. She's already coming back.
She's spoken to Tom Brady.
I am not retired, she said at a press conference while promoting something. The chances of a return are very high.
I'm sure she retired.
She retired at the US Open, but Tom Brady retired. Tony Lockett retired. Everyone retires, Swanee, and then they come back.
Oh, my God.
Police, I like this one. Police have cracked an alleged drug cartel after finding 120 kilograms of cocaine in frozen chickens. Police allege they found that the cocaine hidden inside a truckload of frozen chickens being transported from Melbourne to Sydney. Witnesses reported that the chickens may have departed the Melbourne depot alive, but at least they died clucking really fast with a heightened sense of self.
With a heightened sense of self.
So they may have gone down.
Yeah.
You know, at least they went down happy, having a good time.
Had a good time.
Starting podcasts.
That is a very poetic.
10 of the chickens started podcasts.
They just got a lot of motivation.
Yeah.
You know?
No, they talked about starting a podcast.
Yeah, really fast.
But then they woke up and they went, who was I last night? And I'm not going to start a podcast.
Oh, interesting ways. There'd be some interesting. You forget about that. They actually move from from state to state in Australia. You always think it's just coming from overseas.
Bryan Cranston is writing a Malcolm in the Middle reboot script. I never watched Malcolm in the Middle, but it's a very big show.
It's huge.
It's about chooks that are high.
It's one of the plot lines, I'm sure.
Malcolm's a great name for a chook.
Yeah.
Frankie Muniz. He played Malcolm. Bryan Cranston, of course, played the father.
Yeah.
It's amazing that the dad, that was always pointed out at the time, that the dad of Malcolm in the Middle played the dad in Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Isn't it amazing? There you go. That's apparently Cranston is working on a script. I always thought that should have been one of the plot lines for the end of Neighbours. That Dr. Carl got cancer, and then to ensure the financial security of his family, he started cooking crystal meth.
Yes.
Who's watching that like last couple of months?
love that.
Hey?
For sure.
And he moves it through Lassiter's. Smart.
We moves it with a truckload of chicken.
Was that show Your Honour? Was there going to be a sequel series?
He was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, was that Cranston?
Yeah.
That was great.
Was it Cranston or was it that other one that everyone thinks is Cranston? Yeah, it is
It was
Cranston.
Cranston. It was great. I thought there was going to be second
I
series.
thought there was too.
Yeah.
Do you know, are you across Your Honour, Sam? You'd love it.
No.
Yeah, you would.
Apparently, Jack's got
Jack,
some
here we
news.
go.
Here we go.
Back in
Look
December,
out.
Jack.
Yeah, it will be ready in December.
Oh,
Great.
awesome.
There you go.
Got that in Yellowstone to come.
You've got
I'm just happy that. What are you doing? Your picks of December.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing? You're going through what you're going to watch in December.
Well, I'm quieter in December, because it's either that or family.
Whoa.
And he would have
clutching your chest. You all right?
He would have got to the end of this this recipe book too by then, so he'll
That's
be ready.
a good point. Finally,
Clear.
Wait a minute. You just gave yourself like
you're doing it with the defibrillators. You're doing it yourself now,
Yeah, I am.
Wow, that is amazing.
If anyone can, Brownie.
Star Wars actor Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah.
I'll finish with this. Has donated 500 drones to Ukraine forces through a charity. He's to
nice.
assist in the Ukraine efforts to push back the Russian forces. Simply, Ukraine needs drones, Hamill told a radio show over there in the States. And he's been part of a program that has means that donations have reached up more than $210 million. And So as part of the next phase of his program, Hamill has promised Ukraine military use of the Millennium Falcon and 10 X-Wing fighters.
Yes.
Wow. Come on.
Is he going to throw in a few lightsabers as well?
He'll throw them in. They need troops on the ground. He's sending over an army of Wookiees and three Ewoks.
Oh, so they've got this in the bag.
Mate, this is over. I'm calling it now.
Tomorrow.
This is the Chrissy, Sam and Brownie podcast.
Let's go.
Win a brand new Mitsubishi Mirage just by hearing one noise. Sam Pang's jokes aren't funny.
Yes, Melbourne, let's give this car away. Let's give it away.
Here's one. Can we just give it away? Check the T's and C's, Jack. I don't, man, I just want to...
T's and C's say no.
You've got to laugh.
You were quick there. You didn't muck around.
What a shame. I think he's looked into it just to put this segment out of its misery.
You've got to be authentic about this, Sam. You can't just go giving cars away by laughing.
Okay, thank you.
Like a made-up laugh.
Thank you, Biscuits.
That's Nerd Biscuits.
Correct,
His full name is Nerd Biscuits, but he just gets Biscuits for short.
Luke
from Lee and Gather. Hi, Luke.
Biscuits.
G'day, how you going?
Good on you, Luke. What do you got, mate?
Right, so my girlfriend asked me for a surprise for her birthday this year. I said, yep, no worries. So I introduced her to my wife.
Yes.
Good, I like that, Luke.
Boo! From the grave, Gilbert Gottfried booed you. Luke. You could win 10K for getting on the radio, though, mate. All right, bad start.
Come on, let's give this some energy.
Bad start.
Snowy the Butcher from the
Snowy the Butcher?
Snowy the Butcher, I love you already.
No, think of those chooks in the back of that truck from Melbourne to
Hey,
Sydney.
they died doing what they love.
Yes.
Let's have a chat to Snowy the Butcher. In fact,
A mountain
I'm
of
so
cocaine.
I'm so glad.
Hey, Snowy.
Hi, I'm so glad you're on the phone, Snowy, because in the song, Brownie said he's reading a cookbook and he said, "Oh, she says to force the meat on the side of the steak down on the pan."
No, the fat.
The fat.
The fat.
Do you ever do that? Do you put the steak on its side and force it into the pan?
Yeah, you do a bit of render the fat down for sure.
Good one,
On
Snowy.
you, Snowy the Butcher.
There you go, Sam. Render the fat down.
I didn't ask.
How much do you make your own snags, Snowy?
We do for sure.
Yes.
And how much are they a kilo at the moment?
For you, Chrissy, $12.
Well, what about for a normal person, Snowy?
Also
Say
12.
again?
What about for a normal person?
A little bit more.
So you get
More
a...
for you, Sam.
Depends on the what they look like.
Snowy, I like the cut of your jib.
Why do you get a discount, Swanee? You don't need it. You've got money to pay for it.
I assure you,
Don't worry.
I very
Chrissy
rarely.
did get an extra crumb cutlet, don't you worry.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
Snowy, now that you mention the crumb cutlets, why are they so expensive? I pay $4 a cutlet.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's it's just a lot of rich farmers out there, I think.
Do you charge $4 a cutlet?
No, we're $3.50.
Competitive.
That is real. I've never seen it that cheap. In fact, I pay $4.10 a cutlet.
Yeah, well, they must be good.
You got a joke, brother?
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you just joined us, we're talking to Snowy the Butcher about his very, very competitive prices.
Specifically on lamb cutlets. Yeah. Crumbed.
What do you got?
A butcher tells a great story.
Oh, yes,
so I'm very confident about Snowy.
So am I. I've got a really good feeling,
Yeah.
Snowy. This is it.
All right, here we go. Once upon a time, there was a man stranded on a desert island for 5 years. He was looking out to sea one day, and a beautiful woman in a black wetsuit appeared. She walked up the beach, slowly unzipping her wetsuit, looked at the man and said, "How long since you've had a piece of chocolate?" The man said, 5 years. She's unzipped her wetsuit just near her boobies. She whips out a pollywaffle, gives it to the man, and he devours it in seconds. "Oh, thank you." She unzips her wetsuit a little bit further. "How long since you've had a drink?" Again, as we discussed before, 5 years. She whips out a bottle of French champagne. The man downs it in 3 seconds. "Oh, thank you, thank you." She unzips her wetsuit slowly a little bit more. She says, "How long since you played around?" She said, "Sorry?" Yeah, the man said, "Sorry? How long since you've played around?" The man dropped to his knees and said, "Jesus, don't tell me you got a set of golf clubs in there."
It's good.
Nah.
You've upset Rocky.
I think I speak for everyone when I say, Snowy, stick to the crumb cutlets.
No, I'm backing him up here. That was a good joke.
I thought it was
It
going
was a good joke.
Did everybody think it was going for a poo and wee punchline?
No, when he said
Waffle
playing
and the
around,
You knew.
We knew straight away. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't well told and Snowy didn't waste everyone's time.
Is
yeah,
it-
mate, it was a great.
Snowy is
It was
magnificent.
wonderful to hear from Snowy.
Can I ask,
And
as a
his
woman,
lamb chops are competitive.
Oh, man.
they are competitive. As a woman, can I ask, does it mean, is the whole sort of punchline the fact that men would rather play golf than have sex?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm 50 next month, so yes.
Snowy, yes, Snowy.
All right, Snowy.
Snowy, you're off to see Black Adam
gun.
in cinemas now.
Sun gun.
Want to see what happens in the studio? Check it out on Facebook. Follow Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Tim Minchin, comedian, director, writer, composer. Come on, there's too much stuff to mention, Minchin. 2 musicals, Matilda and Groundhog Day, nominated for 7 Tony Awards. Upright, the 2nd season's coming soon. I'm very excited about your doco, Year Without God. Woo! And the reason why you're here is you're performing at the Palace Foreshore, Saturday, November 26th. Here's Tim.
Welcome, Tim Minchin.
Thanks. That was an intro, wasn't it?
It's good,
like,
isn't
it's
it?
like I'm a carpet product or something.
Very energetic, wasn't he?
On sale now.
You were frowning. It's like a lot at this
It's a
time
lot.
of the
It
day.
feels
I
a lot, yeah.
understand.
10% off me.
I want to talk about the Palace Foreshore, which is 3 words that we're not really familiar with. You're kicking this off.
What is the Palace Foreshore?
The Palace
Does anyone
Foreshore
know?
is, allegedly, it's an area outside the Palais.
It's in St Kilda.
In St Kilda, that's going to be,
Yeah.
it's kind of purpose designed for outdoor entertainment.
They're doing a series of concerts outside. It'll feel like a festival, I think.
Just
so a
makes
big
me
outdoor
excited
stage.
for like the end of the pandemic and living and summer.
Yeah, I think that's the vibe. I think everyone's like, can we just do things that make us feel like the world's normal for a bit? And I think there's going to be stalls set up and bars and total outdoor vibe. Be
Sounds
great.
amazing. If
Yeah.
you want to go along, it's at the end of November. November 26 is when you're performing. Tickets are available at livenation.com.au.
What date was that? November 26th.
November 26th.
Where at?
An auspicious day at the Palais, outside the Palais.
What?
What's going on inside?
Do we know anyone else? Is anyone else working around that area at that
I
time?
believe Sam might be working inside that night.
I will be there that night, but now that I know that Tim's on at the Foreshore, or the Palace Foreshore, I might pop into Tim's
Yeah,
show.
so what's
say.
going to happen is Sam's going to be playing with his mates in the Palais. He's going to do his 10, 15 minutes and then just rush out to watch the
that's right.
actual gig, the proper gig.
Well, by that time, I will have seen all their stuff. Do you mean?
You'll be sick of it.
Yours is a special event. It's a
Yeah.
one-off, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a one-off if you consider me playing songs I wrote 15 years ago a one-off. No, it's not true. It's just not true.
Tim and I got off to a bad start. Tim's still he's a bit upset that I wasn't on Have You Been Paying Attention the other night when he came on.
Yeah, I went on Have You Been Paying Attention and I was like, I'll get to see Sam, and he wasn't there, so I'm going to hold that as a grudge.
You're seeing him now. What would you have said to him if you'd gotten to
Well,
see
it's too
him?
late, Chrissy. Like, he wasn't there for me, and he's not my friend anymore.
Are you going
And
to pull that
wasn't
great
before
line?
either.
That great line that women supposedly do. If I have to tell you,
Yeah,
there's no
that's
point.
right. There's no point. Let's not have this.
I've loved you for a lot longer than you've even tried to like me. Does that make sense?
Oh my God, this
It's
is
true. He
this
would
is
have loved you when he
beautiful.
was just Sam, the employee of the month at the Clifton Hill Bottle-O.
Did you work at a bottle?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I tell these guys I knew it was time to leave when the boss said, "You've been a great servant here. Would you like your own pricing gun? You don't have to share with the others." I said, "Yeah, cool, if you want me to try to shoot myself with it."
There was a fork in the road.
You really are a true Renaissance man. Do you have a favourite sort of discipline or area? in the
Fencing.
arts? Is that your favourite?
As
Same
a
as
true
Brownie's son.
Renaissance man.
Yeah, he loves
I'm a
fencing.
fencer.
Painting.
Painting. Alchemy. Alchemy?
No, I said
Yes.
falconry.
Falconry. And alchemy.
And alchemy.
The Renaissance men did think they'd eventually figure out alchemy, didn't they? I like... it's the variety that I get off on. And so I really enjoy doing all these different things. But probably if I just want to just have fun, I just play music.
Do you
total
get
joy.
scared of failing ever?
Yeah, all the time.
Do you?
Well, I don't know if I'm scared of failing. I don't frame it like... I'm not inclined to think, I hope my next thing is as popular as Matilda or something. I don't care about that. If I'm scared of anything, it's that I take the foot off the gas, like take it for granted.
Yeah.
Because I never thought that you got to be an artist or you got to be a comedian or you got to make... I never thought I had a right to do it. I always thought it was incredibly lucky if you're one of the few who can make a living out of
Yes.
it. And I don't think I take it for granted, but as time goes on, that sort of... It's harder to keep impressing and keep surprising and, people sort of take you for granted in the end. People go, oh, yeah, he's good. Whereas in the old days, when you first start out, the fact that you're even okay is a shock to everyone.
Yeah, right.
But later they come going, well, this better be good because we're paying $100 ticket or whatever. And so it's that it's not so much fear as pressure to keep proving that you have a right to be doing what you're doing.
That transition too, you addressed in a wonderful article for The Guardian. Which I thought was a wonderful read. It's like, and you talk about fame and celebrity and how like the struggle or to juggle that with your actual art.
Yeah, I think people like me talking about fame, especially because I'm not particularly famous, but it's sort of nauseating. Except that I think we should all have a look at how we treat like the way we sort of feed off celebrity and stuff. I don't love it all. But from my position, what's interesting about it, I guess, is that you just want to be a nice person in the world and you want to be normal and have normal relationships and be kind to people and be subject to the same pressures as everyone else. And unfortunately, that's very, very hard to do when you're getting a lot of attention. It's very hard to keep your self-esteem in a sort of healthy place.
Agreed.
It's easy for it to get really damaged because people are judging you and stuff.
Why are you pointing at me? What's wrong with you?
No, I'm just pointing to the left.
They're judging you. They're judging you.
He nearly poked a hole in his biceps.
I was sort of doing a scale and Sam happened to be on the damaged side and Brownie happened to be on the too much self-esteem.
That's exactly.
It's arbitrary.
That's the balance, isn't it? They're either judging you or they're adoring you and you don't deserve it.
Yeah, there's we could get.
You don't deserve either of it.
I could get very wanky here, but we do have ever since all our old Christian myths and stuff, we have a desire for icons. We put them on a pedestal and then we want to see them nailed to a cross. We want to see them battered to be scapegoats for our sins. We're looking at people going, wow, imagine if I could be rich and famous like this. Now show us how there's suffering there as well. And we want them in the gutter soon after. It's what we want. It's the narrative we love.
Change the pace quickly, Dino. Get the Fremantle song ready. Because you are a big Fremantle Dockers fan.
Big Freo fan.
You've just been on one of the boys' podcasts with Griffin Logan, David Mundy.
Neither of whom are playing for the club anymore.
Yeah, it's amazing.
One because he retired, a legend, and the other because he's disloyal and went to another club.
Tim, did you get swept up in the flag mantle word? It's a new word.
I don't love that particular portmanteau. It feels a bit clumsy to me and also a bit premature.
What flag mantle?
Early in the season.
They got a bit excited. Now, this is obviously coming from a West Coast supporter, Dino. You can tell why you're getting shade from the other side of the desk. But you are you're a legendary writer, composer, all these sort of things. So you've got an unbelievable musical ear. What do you think about this song?
God, I hope you agree.
Way to go. Get 'em real hot, settle down below. We are the Freo Dockers.
We celebrate it, don't we, Swan?
It is my favourite footy song. I'm not a Fremantle fan. No. I barrack for Richmond. But that is hands down the best song.
Totally. It's of its era.
Totally.
It's a club born in the early 90s in a port town that was the home of the lead singer of AC/DC. It's a rock and roll town, and it's got the built on the theme of the yoga, the Volga boatman.
Yes,
Even old Russian boatman song. So it's got cultural relevance. It's passionate, and it says hit 'em real hard and send 'em down below, like presumably to hell.
To hell.
Religious iconography.
Let's enjoy it one last time with Tim Minchin.
Here we go.
Way to go. Get 'em real hard, settle down below. We are the Freo Dockers.
There's always this talk of rewriting it. Don't you dare.
Really? You wouldn't touch it?
No, touch it.
Hey, it's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. It's like Sam Payne.
Tim Minchin just said it's perfect. It really is. I'm so thrilled that you agree.
I'm going to use that as a quote, by the way.
The Palace Foreshore is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Saturday, November 26th. Visit livenation.com.au for more information. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
What a thrill.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Tim Minchin, comedian, director, writer, composer. Come on, there's too much stuff to mention, Minchin. 2 musicals, Matilda and Groundhog Day nominated for 7 Tony Awards. Upright, the second season's coming soon. I'm very excited excited about your doco, Year Without God. Woo! And the reason why you're here is you're performing at the Palace Foreshore Saturday, November 26. Here's Tim.
Welcome, Tim Minchin.
Thanks. That was an intro, wasn't it?
It's good,
like,
isn't it?
It's like I'm a carpet product or something.
Very energetic, wasn't he?
On sale now.
You were frowning. It's like a lot at this
It's a
time
lot.
of the
It
day.
feels
I
a lot,
understand.
yeah. 10% off me.
I want to talk about the Palace Foreshore, which is 3 words that we're not really familiar with. You're kicking this off.
What is the Palace Foreshore?
The Palace
Does anyone
Foreshore
know?
is, allegedly, it's an area outside the Palais.
It's in St Kilda.
In St Kilda, that's going to be,
Yeah.
it's kind of purpose designed for outdoor entertainment.
They're doing a series of concerts outside. It'll feel like a festival, I think.
Just
so
makes
big
me
outdoor
excited
stage.
for like the end of the pandemic and living and summer.
Yeah, I think that's the vibe. I think everyone's like, can we just do things that make us feel like the world's normal for a bit? And I think there's going to be stalls set up and bars and total outdoor vibe. Be
Sounds
great.
amazing. If you want to go along, it's at the end of November. November 26 is when you're performing. Tickets are available at livenation.com.au.
What date was that? November 26th?
November 26th.
Where at?
An auspicious day at the Palais, outside the Palais.
What?
What's going on inside?
Do we know anyone else?
Yeah.
Is anyone else working around that area at that time?
I believe Sam might be working inside that night.
I will be there that night, but now that I know that Tim's on at the Foreshore, or the Palace Foreshore, I might pop into Tim's show.
So what's going to happen is Sam's going to be playing with his mates in the Palais. He's going to do his 10, 15 minutes and then just rush out to watch the actual gig, the proper gig.
Well, by that time, I will have seen all their stuff. Do you know what I mean? Yours is a special event. It's a one-off, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a one-off if you consider me playing songs I wrote 15 years ago a one-off. No, it's not true. It's just not true.
Tim and I got off to a bad start. Tim's still he's a bit upset that I wasn't on Have You Been Paying Attention the other night when he came on.
Yeah, I went on Have You Been Paying Attention and I was like, I'll get to see Sam, and he wasn't there, so I'm going to hold that as a grudge.
You're seeing him now. What would you have said to him if you'd gotten to see
it's
him?
too late, Chrissy. Like, he wasn't there for me and he's not my friend anymore.
Are you going to pull that
that
great line that women supposedly do? If I have to tell you, there's no
that's
point.
Right. There's no point. Let's not have this.
I've loved you for a lot longer than you've even tried to like me. Does that make sense?
Oh my God, this
It's
is
true. He would have loved you when he
beautiful.
was just Sam, the employee of the month at the Clifton Hill Bottle-O.
Did you work at a bottle-o?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I tell these guys I knew it was time to leave when the boss said, you've been a great servant here. Would you like your own pricing gun? You don't have to share with the others. I said, yeah, cool, if you want me to try to shoot myself with it.
It was a fork in the road.
You really are a true Renaissance man. Do you have a favourite sort of discipline or area? in the
Fencing.
arts? Is that your favourite?
Yeah. As
Same
a
as
true
Brownie's
Renaissance
son.
man.
Yeah, he loves
I'm a
fencing.
fencer.
Painting.
Painting. Alchemy. Alchemy?
No, I said falconry.
Falconry. And alchemy.
And alchemy.
The Renaissance men did think they'd eventually figure out alchemy, didn't they? It's the variety that I get off on. And so I really enjoy doing all these different things. But probably if I just want to just have fun, I just play music.
Do you
total
get
joy.
scared of failing ever?
Yeah, all the time.
Do you?
Well, I don't know if I'm scared of failing. I don't frame it like I'm not inclined to think, I hope my next thing is as popular as Matilda or something. I don't care about that. If I'm scared of anything, it's that I take the foot off the gas, like take it for granted.
Yeah.
Because I never thought that you got to be an artist or you got to be a comedian or you got to make... I never thought I had a right to do it. I always thought it was incredibly lucky if you're one of the few who can make a living out of it. And I don't think I take it for granted, but as time goes on, that sort of... It's harder to keep impressing and keep surprising and, people sort of take you for granted in the end. People go, oh, yeah, he's good. Whereas in the old days, when you first start out, the fact that you're even okay is a shock to everyone.
Yeah, right.
But later they come going, well, this better be good because we're paying $100 ticket or whatever. And so it's that it's not so much fear as pressure to keep proving that you have a right to be doing what you're doing.
That transition to you
Do you want to
addressed
see what this
in a
looks
wonderful
like?
article.
We'll get the
Guardian,
visuals on Instagram.
which I thought was
Follow
a
Chrissy, Sam and
wonderful
Brownie.
read. It's like, and you talk about fame and celebrity and how like the struggle or to juggle that with your actual art.
Yeah, I think people like me talking about fame, especially because I'm not particularly famous, but it's sort of nauseating. Except that I think we should all have a look at how we treat the way we sort of feed off celebrity and stuff. I don't love it all. But from my position, what's interesting about it, I guess, is that you just want to be a nice person in the world, and you want to be normal and have normal relationships and be kind to people and be subject to the same pressures as everyone else. And unfortunately, that's very, very hard to do when you're getting a lot of attention. It's very hard to keep your self-esteem in a sort of healthy place.
Agreed.
It's easy for it to get really damaged because people are judging you and stuff.
Why are you pointing at me? What's wrong with you?
No, I'm just pointing to the left.
They're judging you. They're judging you.
He nearly poked a hole in his biceps.
I was sort of doing a scale, and Sam happened to be on the damaged side, and Brownie happened to be on the too much self-esteem.
That's exactly.
But it's arbitrary.
That's the balance, isn't it? They're either judging you or they're adoring you, and you don't deserve it.
Yeah, there's. We could get.
You don't deserve either of
I
it.
could get very wanky here, but we do have ever since all our old Christian myths and stuff. We have a desire for icons. We put them on a pedestal, and then we want to see them nailed to a cross. We want to see them battered to be scapegoats for our sins. You know, we're looking at people going, wow, imagine if I could be rich and famous like this. Now show us how there's suffering there as well. And we want them in the gutter soon after. It's what we want. It's the narrative we love.
Change the pace quickly, Dino. Get the Fremantle song ready. Because you are a big Fremantle Dockers fan.
Big Freo fan.
You've just been on one of the boys' podcasts with Griffin Logan, David Mundy.
Neither of whom are playing for the club anymore.
Yeah, it's amazing.
One because he retired, a legend, and the other because he's disloyal and went to another club.
Tim, did you get swept up in the flag mantle word? It's a new word.
I don't love that particular portmanteau. It feels a bit clumsy to me and also a bit premature.
What flag mantle?
Early in the season.
They got a bit excited.
God.
Now, this is obviously coming from a West Coast supporter, Dino. You can tell why you're getting shade from the other side of the desk. But you are you're a legendary writer, composer, all these sort of things. So you've got an unbelievable musical ear. What do you think about this song?
God, I hope you agree.
Way to go. Get 'em real hot and set 'em down below. We are the Freo Dockers.
We celebrated here, don't we, Swan?
It is my favourite footy song. I'm not a Fremantle fan. No. I barrack for Richmond. But that is hands down the best song.
Totally. It's of its era.
Totally.
It's a club born in the early 90s in a port town that was the home of the lead singer of AC/DC. It's a rock and roll town, and it's got the built on the theme of the yoga, the Volga boatman.
Yes,
you know, that old, even old Russian boatman song. So it's got cultural relevance. It's passionate, and it says hit 'em real hard and send 'em down below, like presumably to hell.
To hell.
Religious iconography.
Let's enjoy it one last time with Tim Minchin.
Here we go.
Freo, way to go. Get 'em real hard, set 'em down below. Oh, Freo, the old hero. We are the Freo Dockers.
There's always this talk of rewriting it. Don't you dare.
Really? You wouldn't touch it?
No, touch it.
Hey, it's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. It's like Sam Payne.
Tim Minchin just said it's perfect. It really is. I'm so thrilled that you
I'm
agree.
going to use that as a quote, by the way.
The Palace Foreshore is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Saturday, November 26th. Visit livenation.com.au for more information. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
What a thrill.
This is the Chrissy, Sam and Brownie podcast.
I want to talk about James Corden. You might remember that last week he was banned from epic, historical, legendary New York City eatery Balthazar, where we were around this day, 3 years ago. So he was banned last week after its owner, Keith McNally, claimed that James Corden had been extremely nasty to staff on 2 separate occasions. Do you remember the story?
Absolutely.
He acted like an ass, which apparently isn't the first time. He's got a very bad reputation. Well, he's come out and apologised. And I know, Brownie, you're like, if you were to get another tattoo, it would say never apologise. And initially...
So what did he do? There's a couple of things he did.
He abused the server because there was egg white in his wife's Gruyere and egg yolk omelette, which is a crime, worse than murder.
A cardinal sin.
I would argue.
He treated the staff poorly. And that's all you need to remember.
Abusive. He said, should I just come out in the kitchen myself? You're so bad at your job. He lost his mind. And he initially said last week in an interview, he was interviewed by one of the big ones,
He's
New Yorker.
quite dismissive of it, wasn't Christine?
He was. He's like, I've done nothing wrong. And he says, I'm going to adopt a British attitude, never complain, never explain.
Yeah, that's classic British, not complain.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
missed that part.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
But what is it? A whinging palm? I mean, it's an absolute stereotype. He's changed his tune, and I just want to know, Brownie, what you make of this formal apology that he gave at the top of his show.
We went for breakfast at one of my absolute favourite restaurants. It's a place called Balthazar. We sit down, we ordered, and my wife explained that she has a serious food allergy. My wife was given the food that she was allergic to. But no, she hadn't taken a bite of it or anything. No worries, we sent it back, all was good. As her meal came wrong to the table the third time, in the heat of the moment, I made a sarcastic, rude comment, right, about cooking it myself. And it is a comment I deeply regret.
Still no apology. I like it.
Not yet. My thing is this, when I first heard that, I went, that's a lie. Who's allergic to egg whites?
Well, I was just thinking that. Can you be allergic to egg whites? Now, I'm sure maybe someone will tell us.
You can be allergic to eggs.
Yeah, absolutely.
She wanted an egg yolk. She wanted an egg yolk omelette.
Yeah.
If you can eat the yolks, you can't eat the white. The white is like nothing.
I was severely reprimanded by my wife for sending the kids to school with egg sandwiches when apparently you're not allowed to have egg at school.
Apparently you're not.
No, you're not because because you can have a shocking allergy and go down on the floor and need an EpiPen or something like that.
Yeah, you should never do that. Big tub of peanuts is the way to go.
I tried that the next day.
Yeah, throw them all
Didn't
in
work as
throw them
well.
all in the yard. See what happens.
We do have some calls. I wonder if...
I reckon Cheryl might have some egg white information. Let's roll the dice. Cheryl?
Are you an authority on egg white allergies?
Am I?
Yeah.
No.
Toys. So there's nothing I enjoy more than going to the phones when you don't know what it is. You know? Is there any other?
It's rolling the dice.
Exactly.
You're gonna live.
Guess what? Snake eyes. Just then.
Why wouldn't you ask Cheryl though what she's ringing up for?
No, just
missing word.
Is there any?
Anyway, let her have a crack.
It's so funny.
Is there any other?
Me? Nah.
Is that it with the cord wraps?
No, there's more. There's more. He went on to say that he initially thought he didn't do anything wrong because he didn't yell or shout.
But here's the truth of it, right? Because I didn't shout or scream, like I didn't get up out of my seat, I didn't call anyone names or use derogatory language, I've been walking around thinking that I hadn't done anything wrong, right? But the truth is, I have. I made a rude comment. And it was wrong. It was an unnecessary comment. It was ungracious to the server.
All right, mate.
He's being forced to do this, I think. What do you think?
I would have thought so. Sounds like he's got a gun to his head.
And
if I ever actually have to apologise, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to have someone standing beside me with a gun to my head.
Can you?
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah. That would be so funny.
It was just memorable. But I'll make it sincere. But I'll just make sure there's a gun to my head.
Yeah.
Let's.
It's a great apology. I'm really enjoying this.
Okay. Do you want to have the last one and see if you still think so?
Yeah.
So last Monday, the owner of the restaurant had heard what happened. He Instagrammed that I was banned for 2 offences. One was back in 2014 when I sent a dish back that had hair in it.
Too many excuses.
And the other was last week. As I said to the owner that day that I've ever upset anybody, ever, it was never my intention. And I love that restaurant. I hope I'm allowed in again one day. So when I'm back in New York, I can go there and apologise in person, which is something I will absolutely do.
What do you reckon? Should he have just left it?
Annie, what's the whole theory about never apologising? I know we're running late, but why don't you not want to apologise?
We've been on this show too long, 7 years, and there's still no apology there.
There wasn't.
There's still no apology there.
But sometimes an apology...
You're singing from the same hymn book.
Well done. Sometimes an apology is necessary. If you've done something wrong, you need to apologise.
Well, I wouldn't go with all those.
Never apologise.
I wouldn't go with all those words. I wouldn't go with 5,000 words before my apology.
Well, you hardly seem to be an expert on apologising.
Well, Yeah, that's a good point.
Apologise for being wrong.
Apologise for just wasting my time.
This is not my talk break. This is Swanee's, and I think it's been beautifully delivered. And my summary of it is that he hasn't apologised at all.
He hasn't,
He's
has
thrown
he?
out a few excuses, and almost, I think now he behaved reasonably.
Oh, my God. He's a Corden
I
fan.
apologise to the listeners.
I'd like to have a beer with this man.
$25,000 could be yours with the missing word coming up next.
Chrissy, Sam, and Brownie.
The podcast.
Weather chat. I just want to say, look, honestly, very rarely does anybody listen to Ash's news. We're normally gasbagging.
And we don't mean offence.
No, we don't.
We're stuffing around in here.
Okay. We're busy broadcasters, Ash. But very exciting news that La Nina is going away. All of this wet stuff is set to ease.
Really?
In summer, yes.
Yeah, so the Weather Bureau has just released updated forecasting. It's now saying that, the La Nina system will ease December, so by early next year, we'll have normal summer
So
conditions.
they're just saying something that's going to happen in January and February of next year.
Correct.
Yeah, no worries. Cool.
Sam, the forecasting was just released. It's news, which is why it made it into the bulletin.
That is big news.
A lot of attitude with you, Gardner, since you've had a week off.
Laryngitis.
After being don't call me that. After being spotted in the social pages on the Sunday and then gone for a whole week.
I did hear about this. So just to clarify, that event was actually a week prior to those pictures going into the
I don't think so.
James Corden lies better than you, Ash.
Chrissy, Sam, and Brownie.
I recall, actually you probably won't, but a couple of months ago I did it was like something. I remembered something that I'd seen in a movie that I will never forget. Right, and it was in a gunfight. If you have the higher ground, you have the advantage, right?
Yeah.
And I think you asked me how I knew that, and it was because of The Rock, the movie The Rock, when General Hummel has the higher ground. Do you know? Have we got the audio?
This is General Hummel. Drop your weapons.
Ed Harris?
Commander Anderson, if you have any concern for the lives of your men, you will order them to safety their weapons and place them on the deck.
So General Hummel's men are above Anderson's men, right? And Anderson responds.
General, we've spilled the same blood in the same mud. You know goddamn well I can't give that order.
He can't give that order.
No, he can't.
But he should give that order because, as General Hummel explains...
Your unit is covered from an elevated position, Commander. I'm not going to ask again.
Mate.
And shouldn't have to ask again.
The odds are stacked against you because of the elevation of the enemy.
I'm not but it's happened again. But I'm not talking about in generic, like in a general sense, like, what did you learn, like from the body, I've watched The Bodyguard 100 times, what did you learn? I'm not going to...
When you rewatch it, what did you learn about The Rock?
What did you learn?
What a movie. What an underrated movie.
It's an underrated movie. It's right there, like with The Bodyguard for me, in terms of rewatchable.
Surely you learned something from The Bodyguard, though.
Well, I did learn if you ever are protecting someone that, you never let her out of your sight, you never let your guard down, you never fall in love. But I'm talking about... That's more general. That's more philosophy for life.
Yeah.
Never falling in love.
Never let her out of your sight. Never let your guard down. Never fall in love. Whatever, all right? That was my takeaways from the movie, right? What I'm saying is I saw it.
What a song.
I'd be a good... Mate, because of those lessons, I would be a good bodyguard. I know you don't think that I care about anyone else other than myself, but if given the duties, I could do it.
Oh, absolutely you could. Especially as a famous international singer like that.
It's funny, I saw a story
like
recently.
Rachel Marin.
I could be the Frank Farmer to someone's Rachel Marin.
But you would fall in love with her, and that's the third rule that you're breaking.
I would fall in love.
You would.
I saw this story, it's funny. Australian authorities have uncovered more than $180 million worth of illicit drugs hidden inside a shipment of coffee beans found bound for Melbourne. A $180 million drug haul, meth, cocaine hidden in coffee beans, right?
Jeez.
Coffee and chickens.
The chickens were earlier. The chickens, that was a different story. But this one, I saw that headline and did not even blink. Well, because some people would look at that, Brownie, and go, well, what's with the drugs and what with the coffee beans?
Tactic's been around a long time.
A long time. I've known for the good part of the last 30, 35 years that drugs are sometimes hidden in coffee beans to put the scent off.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, you know why? Because you obviously didn't watch Beverly Hills Cop.
I don't think I have.
As many times as us. because Axel Foley was sniffing around, trying to work out how his friend Michael Tandino got killed, right? Anyway, you didn't need that detail. He went to a warehouse and he's found the baddies, with drugs and all that.
Yeah.
And he was explaining himself to the Beverly Hills Cop boss.
Yes.
And this scene...
Bogomil.
Thank you, John. Here.
Oh, my God.
You witnessed all this. Everything except for the drugs. But I found coffee grounds all over the warehouse. Coffee grounds.
You said something about that before. What does that mean?
Drugs are sometimes packed in coffee grounds. The scent throws off the dogs.
Bang!
So I saw that movie and that scene in the 80s, and for the rest of my life, I have known that drugs are sometimes hidden in coffee beans.
I reckon we've narrowed down whoever did that in this fair city to someone that was born the same year as you and grew up on that movie.
Well, there you
There's
go.
no way that person, that actual drug dealer, is not singing from this same hymn book.
No, same as Victor Maitland's hymn book. Victor Maitland was he was the drug baron.
All right,
In the movie.
As if we didn't lose them earlier, we've really lost them now.
In the movie.
In the movie, absolutely.
I'm just saying, it's a message to all the kids in the car out there that, if you're watching movies and you're watching television and your parents say, oh, you're watching too much. Listen, it's very educational and it can change your life.
Absolutely.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissy, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
Kanye has been a big talking point the last couple of days. Swanee brought this to the table in an interesting interview with Piers Morgan over the weekend, and he had an interesting tactic about trying to get in to talk.
Was put on camera.
I'm not saying you
to
can't
traumatize. I'm not finished. La 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 means let me finish.
Okay.
I'm not finished talking.
Amazing. Now the world's blown up about this. The world has blown up over this, but
over the la la la.
Absolutely, they have. But Swanee, this has been a tactic that I've often gone to over the last 8 years of my broadcasting career at Fox Footy. Now, I know it's off Broadway at times, okay, but I've found this a very effective tool, especially when Nicky Rewalt gets on he starts running away with something to talk about.
They were so good for so long that it's bound to come at some stage, but it's a big enough sample size.
No, Rui. No.
Now,
I'm speaking la 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 la. Bang.
Cuts him off. Bang.
Beautiful. You get in.
You wouldn't do it to Gaz, though. That's disrespectful.
No.
Whoa.
Hey, that's the host.
Mate, we all...
These are extraordinary circumstances here that no one's had to deal with before.
La 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 la, Gary. I'm speaking. La 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 la. Well, Gary's just banging on him. Well, we know the Cats won the premiership. It's extraordinary circumstances. That's right. No shit. They won by 80 points, Gaz. Okay, we get that.
I've seen you so far.
La 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 la, Gary. I'm talking.
Now, remember 20 years of On the Couch, Jared Healy was the host.
Yeah.
No wonder we got rid of him with some of this.
Critical point, and once again on the weekend, they also displayed...
Jared. La 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 la, Jared. La 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 la.
Jeez, you've had a big couple of days, haven't you? Really?
In the lab.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm still not recovered from yesterday's country music muster. And
well, no one has.
the characters in I Like to Have a Beer with Duncan.
There were meetings in Sydney about that talk break.
Get on the podcast. You don't want to miss it.
What about? Remember Eddie? Eddie known for his tangents. Yes. Eddie would just head off on these wild tangents and we couldn't get a bloody word in.
That's not the start of the beginning. It's not even the beginning of the end, to quote Churchill.
Eddie, stop speaking, Eddie.
The war cabinet is starting to wear.
No one gives a shit about Churchill, Eddie.
We've got so much...
Stop. La, 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 la.
Wow, you gave that a flourish at the end, John.
Sure did.
Anyway,
Nice one.
yeah, so you can tell I've been busy.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Now it's time for Kitty Flanagan, a comedian and good friend of the show.
Yes, she is. And season 2 of Fisk starts 9 p.m. tonight on ABC and ABC iView. I am so excited about this. I've been so looking forward to it ever since I heard it was coming.
I'm very excited as well. I really want people to see it because I've seen it a million times in the edit and I can't tell anymore. So I just want other people to watch it.
So it's on tonight, Kitty. I've heard nothing about it. You've done no publicity. This is almost an exclusive.
Yeah,
for you
it's
to
an
come on our
exclusive
show
right here. I said I'll only talk about it on Nova. I said the rest of you can just...
It's been a big build-up, kid.
It's funny.
I know.
It's funny, Sam, that you say that you've never heard of it because Melburnians on the street were asked if they had heard of Fisk as well in a classic Vox Pop scenario, and here's a couple of examples.
I know the word, but not as a TV show, though. Oh, I remember that. I didn't like it. I tried it about 3 times.
She tried 3 times.
She tried 3 times.
Yeah, and then what you didn't play is the bit afterwards when my sister, who was doing the Vox Pops, said to her, "Oh, you know, there's a second season." She went, "Oh, is there? Well, I'll give it a go." So she's a glutton for punishment, that woman. But bless her heart,
the classic path. Yes,
she's not writing me off after 3. She's going to go 4 times.
What else you got, Dina?
Oh, Kitty's funny.
Yep, Kitty. Flanagan.
That's the one.
That's great.
I love it. That's the one.
Well, Fisk is her TV show.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I love her.
No idea.
Yep, it's always good to chat to a homeless person on the street. No, she was very nice. But the weird thing about those Vox Pops is it was my sister doing them, but people can't tell the difference between my sister's voice and my voice. So everyone thinks I went round asking people, have you heard of this show?
It does sound like you, absolutely. If you haven't heard of Fisk, I'm frankly very envious because you've got a whole season on ABC iView that you can catch up on before the second season kicks off tonight.
To get a bit more public recognition, is that why you have essentially sacked Sam Pang from this year's series?
Look.
And gone for some bigger names. You've gone for Denise Scott, Harley Breen, Mark Downing tonight. They're big national icons.
Big hitters.
Big hitters, yeah. And we had a lot of our favourites come back. Glenn Robbins comes back later down the line. Sheargold's there, yeah.
Back, big.
Marty's there. Well, you were busy. You said, I got a lot on.
It's a bald-faced lie.
Did it upset anyone that I wasn't coming back?
Annoyingly, yes. I keep getting asked, is Sam coming back?
With his one line?
No, he's not coming back. He wasn't great. He was hard to work with. There were a lot of demands.
Yeah.
What was his name again? Did he have enough words to have a character name?
I think he did. I think it was Alex.
Yeah, he did have. That was a proper role. It was a lot better than that.
I think you were Alex Walker.
Really?
Alex
very.
Walker.
Oh, see, that's the problem. I didn't know his surname.
A traditional Chinese name. The Walkers of Beijing.
Here's a question for you. Do you need to? Swanee makes a good point. Season 1 is there, ready to watch if you need to. If you want to go back, do you need to watch the season to watch tonight?
They do to see you.
Yeah. All right.
You don't need to watch it, but why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's a good
Why wouldn't you?
An award-winning season, why wouldn't you? Because, hey, it's only downhill from here. So, get involved with season 1.
Can I tell you,
we won some trophies for that one.
Yeah, you really did.
It's critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who knows what's going to season 2 is going to be like. So, I'd say, go and watch season 1 if you haven't.
Where's the trophy from France? Where's that? Have you got that?
I've got the trophy from France, but my Logie is up in Japan in a little cafe in the snowfields because that's where my brother works, and we thought it would be more of a talking point up there in Japan.
What do you mean, the one you've hustled me up to go and get?
Yeah,
that
you're
one
lucky
is
I
in
didn't
Japan.
send you up to Japan to deliver it as well.
Why did you
go collect it and then courier it off to Japan?
Why did you choose Sam to go up and collect the
question.
Logie? Because obviously Sam played a very underwhelming part in Series 1 of Fisk. However, Fisk swept the awards and Sam made the acceptance speech at the Logies.
Yeah, we did sweep the award, singular.
Yes.
But no, the agreement that we had was we had a discussion. I said, look, I've got to nominate someone to go and get it if I win. We both had a chat about it and we both agreed I was no chance. And that was how I convinced you to go and get it because you agreed with me. You said, yeah, you're no chance. We looked at the competition and said, never going to happen. And then sure enough, you had to shuffle up there with your wine.
Don't get me wrong, it's funny. I did when Kitty, because you wear these awards things, you don't want to do anything, right?
Yeah.
When someone who can't even be bothered turns up says, "Oh, if I win, can you accept it?" Yeah. I'm thinking, really? And then we looked at the other nominees and I said, "Yeah, no worries, I'll do that for you."
Yeah, sure. when they said, "And the winner is Kitty Flanagan," did you go?
I couldn't believe it. I said, Jesus, what?
His face was like the face of someone who lost the award. You know that?
Yes.
God damn it.
In many ways, he did.
Let's have a listen. Let's see what happened.
Firstly, I just wanted to say I had a small part in season 1 of Fisk, and this will be the first time a speech is longer than the role that the person was in.
Yeah, nailed it. Do you know what else?
Nailed it.
Hey, listen, have we got enough? Because you are a friend, and we want Fisk. Have we given enough of a plug?
Yeah.
What time's it on?
9 p.m.
o'clock.
The traditional ABC comedy time slot, Wednesday 9 p.m.
I can't watch it because I'm filming a different TV show tonight, but I have it on my schedule for tomorrow.
Well, you
There's
can
going to be a
iView
nice cup of tea. Is it one episode a week or
Yep,
is it?
we're doing traditional appointment style viewing.
Yeah.
Like in the old days when you used to rush home at 7:30 on a
Yeah.
Monday to watch Friends.
I do. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. I get it.
ABC and ABC iView go binge season 1 too.
All right, I know. Can I just?
We don't want you to go.
No, we don't want you to go. But
I know this will be my last chance with you guys.
Last time you were in.
No, you got to come in again before we finish.
No, this will be it.
No, you've got to come in. Can you please come in
Of course I
again
will.
before we finish up?
Oh well, we've got time. I just want. Remember, I would just.
Have you got a game for me?
No, we'll get you in to play games.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, we'll have
Games.
a full 2 breaks of kiddie games.
Great,
Last
thanks.
time you were in here, in this studio, you you did something. I know we've rung you in just to kind of pay you the proper compliment, but you rolled this out, right? Which at the time, I'm not sure anyone had any idea what you were talking about.
I'll play it for you. It goes like this. How do you know I'm not? I know because. How do you know I'm not? I know because. How do you know I'm not? I know because I never loved him like I love you.
That was
Come on,
so
easy.
good.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
I mean, nailed it. And I also did a pretty good Richard Gere, can I say?
You did.
And somehow, Kitty, there's a splice of Cosby in there.
There is.
Somehow.
Heavy on the Cosby.
Fisk season 2, you got to watch it. 9 p.m. ABC iView. We love you.
Love you. We'll see you
Thanks,
soon.
guys.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie. Ripper Show will be back tomorrow. Chrissy, Sam and Brownie. Oh, unless it's a weekend.
Over 100.